What's up, guys? I'm finally getting around to making the Moon Sugar Meadow video for you guys here. I know I've been touting about it on Twitter, and you guys have been wanting a full video. It's taking me a minute to make it because I've been struggling with finishing it. I've been struggling with getting the last bit of details in there, but we made it. We got all the way up to the 700 item count. So this is a notable home, 700 item cap if you have ESO Plus, which I highly recommend if you don't. It is, like I said, under the notable homes. Moon Sugar Meadow is right here. It's 6,400 crowns. Super affordable and worth it, honestly, because it's a clean slate. You can literally take everything. You can see the little temple in the preview. You can literally move that entire structure. So I moved everything out, started with a clean slate, and I knew what I wanted in my mind, and I went with it. So you all know me, Imperial to the bone. So I wanted an Imperial like marching camp, like similar to the Roman marching camps. So what the Romans would do is when they would go on their long campaigns, like up into Gaul and all that, they would every day they would march, and at night they would set up a camp from scratch, and then in the morning they would tear it down. They were called marching camps. This one's a little bit more stationary, but it's kind of based off of that. It's an Imperial forward camp for when you're operating campaigns away from the homeland. It basically has everything you need. So this one is made completely out of wood because I get a lot of, hey, where are the trees? You removed all the trees. Well, that's the point. It's made out of wood. The palisades, the defense are all made out of wood. The siege weapons are made out of wood. So we had to cut down a lot of trees, which also gives an advantage. It being a military outpost, you can see people approaching now that the trees are gone. They can't use them as cover. So we'll start here on the first approach going up to the house. You can see I have the siege weapons out front. These ones are sort of faced towards the bridge as you come in. We have the trebuchet on the right, and then you see all the wooden palisades, the defenses, the spikes all lined up out front, which those encircle the entire camp. We have the prison here. Due to lack of placeable NPCs, it is filled with soul shriven currently. Until we get some cool flavor NPCs to populate our player housing, that's what we got to work with, which is fine. Works for me. So trebuchet, there's the guard tower on the right. Here is the main guard tower overlooking the main entrance. Here we have a couple tents, 2 sleeping bags in them each. We have the ballista and the catapult out front. And then as we make our way through the first gate, which for lack of anything better, this is what we have to work with, is this metal gate. So until they put wooden ones in, this is what I'm going to have there as a placeholder to remind myself. Whenever they do release the wooden gates, if they ever do, I'm going to put it in place of this instead of the metal one. But I wanted a gate instead of just an open doorway. So we're going with the metal gate. Come in, you got the palisade defenses there. First thing you're going to see is our peddler. She's obviously a Khajiit from the area who brings her goods here to trade with the Imperials who have camped out here. Alright, let's go open this first guardhouse up here. We have the flaming oils. I don't know if I'm going to keep it because someone did make a good point. You're going to have a defense of flaming pitch in a camp that's made completely of wooden cloth. Which makes sense. I don't want to burn the whole thing down. But if they're breaching the walls, you know, last-ditch effort covered in flaming oils. So that might go away. Because there's 3 of them, one at each entrance. Good vantage points here. You can see the approach. Got a beautiful view. Not much else up here. I want to do and add more flavor to that, but I have a tent back here for sleeping. And then this first main tent is basically the barracks tent. A little campfire out here, a little wash bucket for the troops to cook and wash. And this is the main bunkhouse, which has 4 bunk beds. I've tried to add clutter, make it more lived in. So what I did with this, we had 700 items, so I wanted to make the camp look as busy as possible. So all the items, except for the last part I'm going to show you at the end, which is only a few items, all the items are in here. It's clumped in here because I want it to seem busy and lived in. So almost all 700 items are crammed in here. So we went over the peddler and the barracks tent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the left side and come back around this way. We have the horn, which they can run down and sound to alert the rest of the camp in case something's going on. Here I have the hitching post for the horses. The first tent we come to is going to be Nizume with the merchant tent. Again, I went with clutter, things that she would be selling as a merchant, buying and trading. The next tent that we are going to look at, actually I want to look at the center one because I have made spears. I need to fix those because those are a little off-center. The spears on the other side look better. So there's no weapons that you can place in ESO housing, which hopefully they do add soon. So we kind of have to improvise. This one I got off of Twitter. Someone gave me the idea. So we have spears and shields for the troops. This is just another living tent, which has 2 bunk beds. And backpack, some stools to make it look lived in. And then here are my better spears. I have to make the other spears on this side look like those. So that's just a butcher knife and a flagpole. So those do take up some items. That's, you know, this whole setup right here, that's 4, 8, 9. This is 10 items right here. And I have the coffin lid to look like a tower shield. And that's it for right there. A little bit of wind chimes. Next tent, real self-explanatory. It is the jewelry crafting tent. I want to add more clutter in here. Definitely not enough. I just have those 2 pieces and it's kind of meh. Not as good as some of my other. Same thing kind of with here. I'd like to add these barrels and crates all around. Make it seem more busy. Here is the enchanting tent. Real simple. Next thing you come to is my first dyeing station. This is the first outfit station that came out when it wasn't before the outfit system, when we could just dye our clothes. This is what came out. And then here is the Alchemy Station, which I like this one. I've added a lot of clutter to this one, and it makes it seem more authentic. Got all your bubblers and different ingredients that you do for your alchemy here. This is, of course, the mess area, the kitchen, if you will. It's a camp, so it's just all local stuff. Locally hunted and picked stuff, since we gotta basically live off the land, being so far away from any kind of main Imperial city or anything like that. This grill is the working cooking station from elsewhere. And I just wanted to make it look like it was busy. We have our little Elfique merchant. No, this is the banker. Over here, sitting on top of the keg, getting drunk, because all Elfiques, for some reason that you meet in northern and southern elsewhere, are completely wasted when you talk to them. So that's what he's doing. This is obviously a wheat cart. It's got the scythe where the wheat was harvested. And then we come to this entrance, which we will look out real quick. I'm going to go out here and then come back in for a minute. So this has some additional defenses. Trebuchets, ballista, catapults that defend from this avenue approach, because that's where the river goes out. So if anyone's going to come in, it'd be up the river and attack from there or from the main entrance. Got another guard tower. We'll go up there in a minute. And then over here, up here, we have another ballista. Use beautiful. And you can build all on that, all out to the water. That's all buildable. So that is this outside part. Like I said, a couple more tents with more sleeping areas. This is kind of the outer siege camp. I'm stuck. There's a catapult. So down here, I did want to have my Mundus stones in here. As you guys know, I do have all the crafting set stations, but I wanted to focus on more detail in here, and those take up like 100 some odd slots, and that's a lot of detail that you're sacrificing just to have all those. Plus, there's other people, you know, Inklings and Urquan, they have that in their guild halls, so it works. Here is the Mundus Stone Garden, which I added a few trees, kept these trees around here just to make it look cool. Statue of Debella, which I might get rid of her, and these butterflies because it'll free up some item space. But there's not much to that. That's just so I have access to all the Mundus stones. The guardhouse above this gate is exactly the same as the other one. All the guardhouses are the same, so I'm not going to bother going up there. So, kitchen, guardhouse outside, then this tent here. So, in the Roman marching camps, one thing that they would always set up in there is a place where their soldiers could go worship their gods. So I wanted the same thing here, and since most Imperials are devoted to the divines, this tent is just where the soldiers can come and pray to the divine of their choice. Pretty simple, nothing crazy to it, so that's what that tent's for. I'm going to go up in this watchtower, just to kind of show you that. This is just, you know, the commander's cart with all his books, and that's my tune making funny noises. And then this is just your simple one-man guard tower, where you can watch out and catch the view. The next tent that we're going to is my command tent. I tweeted out a picture of my character standing in front of this earlier today. It's pretty neat. This is probably one of my favorite features here. I got the two Mid-Year Mayhem banners on the right side, the two Imperial banners in the middle, and then the Dragon Guard in the very middle. So the command tent has the map of Tamriel and northern and southern Elsewhere maps, because it would make sense, because they are operating in southern and northern Elsewhere, so it would make sense to have those two maps. And then just, you know, commander's documents and different things, and another Elfique. Tables for his, you know, his officers to sit while they have their command meeting and whatnot. After that, we come out here, another guard tower up there. I've had these boxes and just stretchers for details. This is obviously the blacksmith. So I wanted to make this look as blacksmithy as possible, so I added, obviously, this orcish furnishing, because it makes sense. The factotum chest piece, which looks like a breastplate, so it would make sense to have that here too. The Khajiit fire pit makes a great, you know, when you're adding flavor, if you're making a forge, you can do that. Place it on top of that stand right there. It looks pretty good. I got the Merkmeyer kiln, the Blacksmith Station itself. Someone turned on this light. So I use these lights, these Craglorn sconces, because they're swords, and you can finagle them and twist them around a little bit to make it look like, instead of just like a sconce that gives off light, you can make it look like it's weapons. So they're being made here at the blacksmith. Same with right here. You can kind of see the detail. Some of the detail is missed a lot of times, so there's some stuff that I might remove because I don't know if people notice it. Next here, what we have, obviously the Transmute Station. Nothing crazy about that. Transmute banner. These storage containers are hard to work with, so I just made it look like they're shipping containers that were being brought in. So I have the one on a wheelbarrow, like, hey, we're bringing it in, we're gonna stack with the rest of them. But I think they work there. I can access all of them from how they're sitting. You must have noticed the Imperial banners all throughout the camp. That's a must. So here's the outfit station. This is the newer one. And I have it set up so, and with the torches and stuff, so the lighting hits you just right while you're setting up your outfit and whatnot. Sorry. Alright. We'll hop up in this tower. This is another tower. Kind of crappy view, but whatever, it works. Next tent right here is the commander's tent, where obviously the commander lives and does his thing. I try to use these Mid-Year Mayhem banners to denote, you know, the commander's location, because a lot of times they would have a standard bearer with a certain standard, which you know that's where the commander's at. So the sword with the laurel wreath, it makes sense. So that's why it's on the command tent as well. In here is just a cot for the commander, his, you know, fancy silk robes, a mirror, nothing too special. Just some more detail. That we're getting into the woodworking station here now, so I got chopped wood out front. Inside, wood chopping places, just, hey, look, this is the woodworking station. Clothing station, same thing. Little details to denote that you're making clothes and such. And then there's this entrance here, which this one leads out to the beach. I got a couple more tents for guys to sleep in. The beach is nice. I wanted to set up like little fishing area. I had like chairs and fishing rods and stuff, but I was nah, I'm not worried about it. I wanted more detail in the camp, so I removed that. And then again, another gatehouse, which is set up exactly the same way as the other two, so we're not going to go there. And then we have our banker. Try to make it look as banky as possible. Some lock boxes. I want to move that to the Alchemy Station, but I'll do that later. Money, keys, Tithys. It's a banking station. And then we're back here to the front. So that is the inside tour. I want to do a quick run around the outside and then do an outside shot and close this out for you guys. So we'll go around here. I have surrounded the entire camp with these palisade spikes from elsewhere. I think they're a really neat touch. You can get those from the Northern Elsewhere achievement vendor. If you've done the main quest involving Riverhold and the defensive Riverhold, that's where you get these. They are 1,000 gold each, so I bought a bunch of them and just surrounded the whole fort. Because we really don't have any furnishing like that, and I was like, I need those. That'll be perfect. So they encompass the entire camp, as well as the guard towers, which I kind of threw together, ramshackled. I need to fix the flooring and the roofs. It was kind of done in haste, but it works. So that's pretty much it. There is a lot of space to this house, guys. I highly recommend getting it. You can literally do anything you want with it. I have seen someone do a gigantic tree house. Made a gigantic tree right in the middle, right where my camp's at. Just huge, like, tree of life looking thing. And you could climb up all the way to the top. I saw someone turn this into an entire, like, enchanted forest, which was really cool. There were so many hidden details. There was, like, a Shrine of Hercene in there. It was really cool. You can literally do anything with this. And it's only 6,400 crowns. No. It's the best bang for your buck if you want to get a notable home, because you can literally do anything with it. I mean, look at this. Not tooting my own horn, but it's beautiful, even with all the trees gone. It's a beautiful home, and the view's stunning, crazy good. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Please, if you don't follow me on not YouTube, on Twitter, please follow me on Twitter. YouTube's whatever to me. Subscribe. I put up videos every once in a while, but most of you know my labor of love is Twitter, so please give me a follow on Twitter. I would greatly appreciate it, and thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about it. Either put it in the comments or comment on the post that I make about this on Twitter. What's your favorite part? What's your least favorite part? And what do you think I could improve on with this house? Alright, guys. I appreciate it. Love you. Bye.